The Everything Sequel Podcast is brought to you by the Vegas Beer Guys and the Everything Sequel Podcast. The Everything Sequel Podcast contains explicit language, and I will not go to my room. Hello and welcome to the Everything Sequel Podcast. This is still an Expendables edition. Today we're talking Expend4BLES. My name is Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, the man trailing me on the boat, Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Say hi, Tom.
You sneaky little sausage.
Do you remember that line?
No.
Directly after that, Men in Black zoom out into space when they realize they're being
Hilarious.
tracked by satellite. Yeah.
With the satellite?
Yeah.
So funny.
I was just like, well, it's all animation anyway, so
Yes.
why not just go full sci-fi and have aliens playing marbles on the other side of the galaxy?
It's amazing.
It's so... The weariness I feel about discussing this movie really really came home to me when you mentioned the boat. Because the first thing I was like, oh, we're going to be on that boat for a long time.
Forever. What is this? This is an hour and a half, right? This is 90 minutes, I think.
No.
94 minutes? Is it longer?
What? Tell you got to look that up because this felt like the longest of all of them.
No, it's not that.
Are you telling me this movie is like a respectable length?
I think so. Hang on. All right.
Oh, actually, I got it. Yeah, hour and 43 minutes.
Okay.
That's starting to get into...
Little longer than I thought.
Yeah, that's starting to...
Definitely too long.
Starting to sting.
Because it's got to be at an hour mark. Or right before an hour mark when we get on that fucking boat.
Oh, I think it's earlier.
And I remember saying to myself, holy fuck, we're going to be on this boat for the rest of this movie.
Well, they don't... The boat's the only place they go in the movie.
Yeah.
Once they're done with Libya after
Yeah.
the cold open, which is not really a cold open. I think I'm being generous describing it as such.
Can we just... I got so much to say. Well, I'll save it. All right, hang on. Well, we're talking Expend4BLES, a
Yes.
2023 movie, which means it's almost a decade since we've had the Expendables in our lives, when they were like,
Yes.
hey, let's make another one of these. And appropriately, this one has 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. Might even be a little high.
This one disappeared without trace. I remember that much.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer, vaguely aware it was in the movie theater, and then culture spent no more time
At all.
acknowledging its existence.
Mm-hmm.
It was like not quite wiped from history, but as close as you can get and still be on a streaming platform. For
Yeah,
instance,
exactly.
you know?
I think they said, I guess we'll add it to the Expendables franchise, that you can buy it as in bulk with the rest of the movies. We'd rather you didn't, but I guess we'll have to let you do that.
Did you ever see the trailer?
Oh yeah.
It's such a misrepresentation of the film.
No, I don't remember.
Because it makes it look like a yet another remake of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and that's what I was expecting this movie to be. Because it basically all of it is Statham and the airbrushed goddess herself, Megan Fox,
Jennifer's body,
permanently in soft focus in this movie.
Yeah.
For reasons I don't understand, she's absolutely beautiful. She's the last person who needs to be.
She doesn't need that. Yeah, right.
And yet every time she appears, there's like a Vaseline haze around her. it all focused on them and their fight fucking.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, it's like
I remember that from the preview. I didn't remember that was all it was.
I was like, Jason Statham and Megan Fox are doing like a married assassins movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 3/4 of the way into the trailer, Sylvester Stallone presses a doorbell, which also is not where it happens in the movie. Like the trailer basically makes up and recuts the movie and turns it into something completely different. And I quite frankly wished I'd have seen that movie.
Mm.
Not that it would have necessarily been better, but
right,
it would have been something. This is nothing. Like men's rights, this is nothing.
We need more of men's rights.
But also, like...
we don't have enough rights.
If you're doing a trailer where you're trying to hide the fact that the movie you're advertising is an Expendables movie, that is in of itself enough of an argument not to do another Expendables movie. If you have to trick the audience into coming to the movie...
You're starting at a bad place.
Yeah. If it was really the time for another Expendables movie, Expendables would be the first thing you saw in the trailer.
All right, well, this movie is directed by Scott Waugh.
Of the wah pedal fame?
Yeah.
His father invented the wah pedal.
I've got 3 movies. I'm going to say I don't know. I'm going to say you know none of them. Let's find out.
Well, I see a lot of trailers for movies, even if I don't see the movies.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Act of Valor.
Heard of it.
Damn it. Need for Speed.
Heard of it.
Yeah, that one I thought maybe you'd remember. Because that's got Jesse in it from Breaking Bad.
I do remember that. That was like one of the first things he did right after.
And
Breaking
Michael
Bad,
Keaton, if memory serves.
Before he went back and did everything related to Breaking Bad.
Yes, exactly.
And then some movie and Better Call Saul.
And then some movie called Hidden Strike. That's the one I don't know.
I was going to say, I bet you even haven't heard of that one. No, that's of the 3, that's the best title. That's the one I'd be most interested in seeing based on the title.
All right.
Well, you better show me that money.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that.
I had
as
my
Harrison
pointer
Ford.
finger ready. It was up, ready to go straight at you.
Didn't need the finger. And I'm doing that. And speaking of pointing, I'm doing that as Harrison Ford.
Yeah, always.
In the Blade Runner 2049 interview. When they said, "Do you want to play Rick Deckard again?" I said, "Show me the money."
This movie has a budget of $100 million.
He didn't like playing that role either, did he? Rick Deckard.
Well, I don't think he truly enjoys any role.
No, I disagree. He loves playing Indiana Jones. He made us watch 2 more of those movies because he loved playing it so much.
That's true. All right. This is hilarious. Because all the other budgets, I think, were like usually around $80 million, right?
Oh, yeah. This is uncharted territory. I literally could not guess how much this movie cost.
This budget was $100 million.
No.
Yes.
What on earth is that spent on?
What did they spend their money on?
What animation program did they fucking use that cost that much?
One that they had to develop. They did the startup cost.
I thought the whole point of having an entirely synthetic reality in your movie was to save money. Not increase the... If you're willing to spend that amount of money, make it practical.
It's great. If you look at behind-the-scenes footage of, say, the Big Boat, they'll have a set of the Big Boat with a blue tent around it with all the little red dots so that they can create the sky.
All I can imagine is that whatever soundstage they film this on is like in an area of high value real estate, and they blew all the money on renting the building.
All right, now get this. Opening weekend, $8 million.
I thought you were gonna say 8,000. I really did for a second. That's how out of my depth with this budget I am. That I was like, I didn't know you were gonna say million. I thought you were gonna say thousand.
In the US,
just $8.
In the USA, gathered $16.7 million, and in the world, $37.9 million. The world was not chipping in too much on this one.
It didn't. So it didn't flop, or did it flop?
Oh, it flopped. $100 million budget.
Oh, 100 million. Sorry, and in my head I still thought it was 10. I don't know how they spent $100 million.
It's crazy.
And they made back 39.
37.9. It's
wow,
sad.
That's a disaster.
It's crazy.
It was a disaster movie, and that wasn't the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. So why did they do this? Why? What were they thinking?
I couldn't say.
Why? Why then?
Yeah,
and what
exactly.
for? I have 3 questions. Why? Why then? What for?
I got a
track 'em, find 'em, kill 'em.
I've got our usual Lionsgate and Millennium logos.
Millennium Media.
Oh, nice.
Very important distinction. Even they know there's no future in cinema. And we're going to prove it to you over the next hour and 43
With
minutes.
this film.
Well, the movie begins with some of the sloppiest place markers I've ever seen in a movie.
This is kind of remarkable to me.
Libya, colon, first of all, don't normally see that in a place marker.
Uh-huh.
Gaddafi's old chemical plant. I mean, that's just...
so good.
That just sounds like some old guy on the corner telling you where something is.
And by the way,
it's Gaddafi's old place. You know,
this is 2023.
Where Ron used to live.
This is 2023. Gaddafi's been gone a while.
Yeah, the people don't even... They're using a reference that most people wouldn't even understand. Unless they're going for, like, old-timey prospector talk. Yeah, it's Gaddafi's old chemical plant. But, and then the fact that you're reading that, and you're looking at an entirely CGI building.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's introducing the kind of half-assed filmmaking that you're gonna have to get used to if you're gonna make it to the end of this movie without vomiting.
Yes.
Or dying. Or both. Or dying from your own vomit.
If you could call this a cold open, it's a 4-minute cold open.
It's not.
Progressively shorter.
One of my earliest notes in this movie is a structural nightmare.
It's unbelievable that we start at Gaddafi's chemical plant. We travel to New Orleans.
Gaddafi? It's not even
think
Colonel Gaddafi. There's more than one Gaddafi. There's a whole family of them.
We travel to the United States.
Gaddafi's old chemical.
Where Stallone's gonna get his ring back, and then they're gonna be, they find out that they need to get on a plane and travel to Libya, where this cold open is still happening.
I know.
And it's the same afternoon there. Time has not passed during this entire plane trip for the team to get to Libya. Well, it's such an egregious error to start, a continuity error to start this movie with, that you really can't get back on track from that moment on.
They've got everything wrong about this so-called cold open.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thing we see is we get a sympathetic look at the guards. The general has a family. I'm like, well, in this scenario, the Expendables are going to look like the enemy.
Yeah.
They're going to look like the enemy. They're going to look like the invading enemy in this situation. So I was just like, well, why would you start your movie implying that your heroes are actually the villains in this situation? Everything's fine here. Until they turn up. It's just, yeah. And the video game style graphics.
Yes.
You'll find more realistic looking helicopters in a Dave & Buster's arcade shooting game.
Yeah, right.
It's insane. And then, as you say, we're going to be back here soon. But for right now, we fade out to what I'm assuming is music by a band heavily influenced by Nickelback.
Yes.
So we subsequently discovered, after seeing the original again, that this is kind of a tribute to how the original movie begins with these bike reveal shots.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, this is a movie where I think the best thing that they could have done is try to counteract all the natural sadness implicit in the premise. And they succumb to it so easily without knowing it, without knowing how sad they look. There's just this kind of vacuum of heroism in the middle of the movie that never gets filled.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried for different reasons at this point. Then I thought, are they going for the bummer buck? It's like 2023, they're like, oh yeah, all the big action movie franchise are miserable now. Batman, Bond, Mission Impossible.
Right.
They're all miserable people talking about how miserable everything is.
Yeah.
Do we need to do the same? And I think they did, but not intentionally. I don't think they were intentionally
not on
purposefully
purpose.
Going down that road. But it's sadder than all those movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's less hope and optimism, but I think they think there's more.
Well, yeah, they're constantly doing the opposite of what they think they're doing. Pretty sure.
Yeah. And then the logo, they're running out of logo variations at this point, and we've kind of settled on the gun mohawk.
Yeah.
Which, and again, this just reconfuses me about how much these are bikers. And how much they're mercenaries, and what's the balance of that?
Can I get a percentage on each one, please?
I don't know, and then a logo like this makes me even more confused. What are you telling me about these characters? What do they do for a job?
So I have, after the credits, I didn't realize this until we started cross-cutting, because we have Barney taking Statham, saying hi to Megan Fox, and going back to the bar to get his dildo ring.
Yeah.
But then we keep cross-cutting back to the battle.
Yeah.
Which means it's happening at the same time of afternoon in both America and Libya.
I assume they've looked up the time difference and
no fucking way. I'm telling you,
of course,
both things are happening at 2:30 p.m.
No, yeah. I assume they've done their research, okay? Well, also, we've had a movie off the nagging girlfriend trope.
Yeah, we did. We forgot to mention
and here
that.
It comes back with a vengeance.
It comes back hard.
Yeah, different woman,
obviously. And now she's like supplanted him as the most important person on the team other than Sly somehow.
Yeah. That's kind of one of the only things I like about the movie is I think we only get one moment or one mention in the movie where Megan Fox has to say, it's fine for a woman to do a man's job. But it's pretty much baked in that we accept this. That was kind of one of the only things I liked about that shift.
I like the idea of that shift, except she seems less capable when the fighting starts.
Well, yeah, but you can't lay that at her door. 50 Cent is in this movie too. It's just a general problem.
That kind of bummed me out because
that's his character, by the way. General problem.
50 Cent is here to basically to replace Terry Crews.
Oh,
but what I read
about that.
What I read was like basically they didn't want Terry Crews back because he was saying that he'd been harassed and essentially, I think, molested by a Hollywood producer, and they were like, well, we don't want this guy around because he's calling out producers.
Isn't that tacitly admitting that that's someone involved in this production? If you
Probably. So I don't know. It's just like it's.
You assumed he was referring to you?
Yeah. all the fun stuff of them being Republicans doing ridiculous things that I found funny and amusing in the first 3 films.
Yeah.
When it gets to that portion of like, well, we got to kick Terry Crews out because we don't like that he's admitting
demands
that
basic human rights on set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, now it's not fun. Like, I don't like this anymore.
One thing that modern day Republicans hate is people having basic human rights.
Right.
It's their one agenda that they can all agree on. People have too many human rights.
For my taste.
Damn it, I know it's not politically correct to say it, but we have too many human rights. I'm saying that as if that's a joke version of something Trump said. I bet you can find
probably
that actual quote somewhere in his many ramblings. Well, but also, you know, there's I guess you counteract the fact that now they don't have to go on about how women are doing a men's job, but we still have the hypocrisy of, well, we've got to replace the aged-out Charisma Carpenter with Megan Fox.
Yeah, right.
Although, are they that different in age now at this point?
No, I guess
they would be.
Charisma Carpenter would be older for sure.
Yeah. This movie makes you forget that the men have aged too.
Yeah, right.
Jason Statham is still aged in real time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like put him in a cryogenic chamber between movies.
I was surprised that Stallone, he let all his, I assume, natural gray that is there take over and just like left it there.
Is he gray?
He's grayer in this movie for sure.
Yeah.
So
he's finally
he did not dye it.
At age 107, that he has some gray hair.
He's still always gray. He's still always blackening the facial hair, just not the on top of his head hair.
Yeah, I got to 120 and I thought, well, let's go salt and pepper. Well, and I don't know. What do you think about Megan Fox generally? I have no issue with her as an actor, but I have an issue with her action resume, which I think is my note for all the actors in this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Transformers, that's it.
That's it. Well, it just seems like we've
abandoned that idea.
It seems like somebody said, let's do another Expendables. No Terry Crews, because we don't want him. And then everybody else said no. Like,
yeah,
there's no Harrison Ford. There's no Arnold. Arnold apparently didn't like the way his character went for 3 and just kind of felt like this whole thing had played out.
He had a character in 3?
So he says. And then you don't even have
what doesn't he like about shooting out the back of a helicopter piloted by Han Solo?
I don't know. It's like by the time you get to 3, it's like, okay, we've got a blend. We've got the young and old, and we're all working together, and they're all gone.
Well, you wait 9 years. There's no possible way you can pick up where you left off. But
I guess
even with that caveat, they're not even trying.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
That blend, and that blend was wrong anyway.
Right.
That was the wrong blend. What they should have done is kind of reset to. You know, they could have said, actually, the young people was a mistake. Let's go back to has-beens. And, you know, now we're 9 years later, we got a whole generation of has-beens.
We should, yeah, right.
A whole new generation of fucking action movie has-beens. Right? I mean, that would be my logic. Would be like, there's a whole generation of people who've aged out of action cinema we can use now. Because we've elapsed a whole generation of people here. But they're not even thinking on that conceptual level anymore. It is literally just like musician, The sports. Andy Garcia. What does he represent?
Yeah.
Nothing. But let's get him.
Untouchables,
He's available.
maybe?
Let's get him.
Question mark? Close enough.
Because Andy Garcia was the closest to a star name that they got, they should have built the food movie around him. And it's like, we're doing a casino heist movie, everyone.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is now, because Andy Garcia is the only person approaching A-list involved in this movie now. I mean, Megan Fox in her own way is A-list, but not for the kind of cinema that this series has always been making up until this point. And Kurt, I'm pretty sure in the back of my mind, although bearing in mind that I thought Jason Statham was in The Hitman's Girlfriend's Wife's Uncle.
Well said.
50 Cent has done some action cinema.
Has he?
Right? He's done something.
I know he's done something, but I don't know what he's done.
I mean, he did Get Rich or Die Trying, but that was about him, right? That was his bike.
I think that's his life, though, right?
That's his life, yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't. I'm not saying that counts. And then there's all those Thai and Indonesian guys, and you look them up, and you go, "Yeah, they're in this franchise and that franchise."
But I don't even know them. Like I don't recognize either of these guys.
I don't buy. I don't get my movies by Redbox, so I've never seen these movies. Okay? I don't get my movies at the 7-Eleven anymore.
I don't have a 7-Eleven within a block's walk.
I actually do, but I don't watch, Rapa Nui 5 or whatever it is that they're in. That to me, it's going back to Mark Hamill in The Simpsons. It's a structural nightmare. It's also a conceptual nightmare. This is the equivalent of having, Mark Hamill appear in Luke Skywalker's outfit as Nathan Detroit. That's what this movie is.
Well, we're so far off the rails that not even you can always make an argument for, like, the Expendables are always saying they're the good guys. Well, they're doing despicable things, but it's like, even if Dolph Lundgren is hanging someone, the person he's hanging is a pirate, right?
Oh, well, when we covered the Expendables movie, they make a big deal of, we are mercenaries with a code.
Yes.
Right? There are things we're willing to do, there are things we're willing not to do. That's what makes us different from the Eric Roberts of this world.
Everything in that notion is dropped in this film.
Yeah. 100%.
Stallone recruits Statham to go get his ring just because he wants it back, while acknowledging, I lost it fair and square in a thumb war battle.
In a thumb, yeah. And, there's a way of doing this where it actually works. It actually works dramatically and comedically, where you're like this guy's, whatever gravitas this man had is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to get back to doing missions just to reclaim, he's hanging out at a strip bar. Not only a strip club, one called the Tainted Spoke, which sounds like a strain of venereal disease. He's thumb wrestling for money.
For cash.
He's thumb wrestling for cash. But the movie doesn't... The movie's just like, oh, these are all just kind of funny bits.
This is just hijinks that these guys get into.
And it's like, no, this is like, when you finally put you put one of your elderly relatives in a home. It's after behavior like this.
Yes.
They can't look after themselves anymore.
Right.
These are the signs, everyone. But the movie's not playing any of that.
No.
And it would have been very smart for them to do that. But again, I think because Stallone is one of the few remaining actors in this movie, and he's not willing to poke fun at himself in the way that he's willing to poke fun at others, we're never going to get that dimension. And it's a shame, because I mean, he's willing to do it probably in a Rocky movie, right? Because it fits the tone of that. Mm-hmm. And Rocky was always a little bit of a shambles to start with. And it's actually weird when he's not a shambles in those next 3 and 4, when he's kind of too slick for his own good. We have to keep on doing that. But here, there's no sense of, like, Barney's on the outs, right? This is like,
No.
You know, what normally happens in this situation
It's just a
is
Tuesday.
he called me. He wanted me to get his lucky ring back because he lost it in a
Thumb war, and it's sitting on a dildo.
And someone is sitting on a dildo, and then I didn't hear from him for 6 months. The next I heard, you know, he died. That's how it goes. That's how that story goes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then someone, did you hear about Barney? What? Yeah, he's dead.
Dead.
He's like, you know, 6 months ago when he called me and told me that he was thumb wrestling in the tainted smoke and that his lucky ring was on a dildo, I thought, you know,
he's in a bad place, and I should have reached out, and I didn't, and I should have helped.
But no, it's like the movie's playing it off as if his life has never been better.
Yeah.
He's never more sure of who he is. And Stallone's playing it like this is what he always was, as this character. I'm like, this is not even Rusty. Like, you're not even in Rusty's. You're in the Tainted Spoke. This is not where you hang out.
This is not your deal, man.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like pole dancers in Rusty's. I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of pole dancers in Rusty's. But it was a semi-respectable bar.
Yeah.
That was just its Orleansy charm. Whereas you're hanging out in, you know, you're hanging out in VD the club. Anyway, it's this and the botched cold open really.
But the cold open is still going on for the first 25 minutes of this movie.
Well, that's what I mean by botched, in that it hasn't ended yet.
Because while he's in the bar, they're cross-cutting to him still trying to... What are they getting? Bombs? Or gas?
Well, that's my exact note. The cold open... The first half of the cold open continues after the titles and a whole nother scene in between.
Yeah.
Which is when I first
That's
realized
not how cold opens work.
A structural nightmare. Yeah, it's so strange. And I guess the other thing is we're not quite there yet, but because we got to meet the new team, as it were.
Such as it is.
But they get there after they're able to make a difference.
Yeah.
Which is the other big mistake. Like, everything's already gone down. It's like that scene in Superman 3 when he arrives and the bridge is already, the car's already fallen off the bridge. And it's like, well, you know, the hell
are you going to do now?
Piece of shit, ungrateful humans just like, well, you got one wrong, so you've gone down in my estimation.
So don't like you.
The one time you haven't saved a human life in your entire time on Earth. I'm now turning against you.
You know who's a real disappointment to me? Superman.
He let a car fall off a bridge. Well, to be fair, he does have to save people everywhere on Earth at any given time. I think we can give him one.
Well, meanwhile,
he's hanging out at the bar.
They fly to Libya before the bad guys have left with their bombs.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't miss a chance to comment on Dolph Lundgren's new hair.
Oh yeah,
he's kind of gone. He's gone back to He-Man.
Don't they say he's wearing a wig though?
Yes. He's gone back to He-Man via Farrah Fawcett Major.
Yeah.
That's one of the only good bits of character writing in this movie and I wish they had done way more with this, because he has an AI bride.
Mm-hmm.
Which again feels like exactly
also he quit drinking.
He was still drinking?
He quit drinking. He's become sober for all but the last 10, 15 minutes of this movie. And then getting drunk again allows him to shoot.
Which, by the way, is a great message to recovering alcoholics.
To shoot clearly. To shoot better. Because when he's sober, he keeps missing people.
I told you that story that Paul Russ tells about his snobby film teacher who, begrudgingly showed them mainstream Hollywood movies and said, Unforgiven, or as I call it, Rehab is for quitters. I thought of that when it happened in this movie. I'm like, this is literally Rehab is for Quitters.
Yeah.
So he was still. Wait a minute. So, but in the first movie, doesn't he get sober in the first movie?
Mm-mm.
But don't they say that he's?
They kick him
using?
out because he's always drunk. Being drunk is
But I
a
thought
problem in the first movie. In this movie, they have lines like, "I miss what he drank."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's reprehensible.
That's not supportive.
They do seem to want to remind you that Dolph Lundgren is a bad guy in this movie. After 2 movies of telling us that how he's become someone that we would
trust.
Like. He's got now they're kind of defaulting to.
Well, because this movie could have ended in this moment if he just shot the guy in the head with the sniper rifle, but he misses because he's sober. That's how the action sequence starts.
Wow.
And then we have this huge truck chase, and something happens that I didn't understand at all until I went back and rewatched the first Expendables.
Oh God, I thought you were going to say I rewatched Expend4BLES.
No. Because in Expendables...
I could have rewound the bit in the movie, and instead I just went and watched a different movie.
In the Expendables, there's that moment where the soldiers surround Statham and Stallone and the woman, and Stallone shoots over Statham's head and kills a couple of guys. And he's like, "What are you, crazy? You could have killed me." And Stallone says, "You're welcome." At the end of this truck chase, they're talking by CB. Stallone's the big plane, the Spruce Moose, has been hit, and it's going to crash.
God, keep calling it the Spruce Moose.
and
Get in.
Statham is chasing the bad guys with the bombs, and he goes, "Forget it, I'm going to save you anyway." And then he drives his truck into a barn or an ammo dump in a barn or something like that, and the whole thing explodes as he jumps out of the truck. He looks up at the plane that's falling to the ground and says, "You're welcome." I'm at a miss for how this is supposed to save his life. Him creating an explosion on the ground.
Right.
While his plane is crashing. I don't understand, like, is he created a runway? Because the plane just crashes, and we think Stallone has died. So his whole thing was for naught. Makes no sense.
And it's just to get the line in.
I think so.
Which is a callback to something that even people who know these movies has probably forgotten.
I would think.
And this, I think I mentioned that in our ranking episode, that it's got to the point where Stallone's so immobilized that to show he's acting, he has to lift his hands up. You did that gesture when you were acting then. And he has to do like Clyde from Every Which Way But Loose hands to say, a pause. Okay, I know monkeys don't have hands. Monkey hands. Monkey hands pause. I should have said arms. Because they're called arms on a monkey, on an ape.
I think they still have arms, yes.
But they don't have hands. Monkey hands. There's the next t-shirt. Monkey hands. That's what I remember from that. But this movie does, weirdly, one of the many strange choices it makes is, it's like, after 2 movies of kind of always letting the audience in on the joke, they've decided we're just going to quote stuff that only applies to the first Expendables, which happened 13 years ago, and stuff we've not mentioned since. Like Dolph Lundgren being a traitor. Haven't mentioned that in 2 movies. Suddenly, 50 Cent is up in his face about
Hey, I thought you fucking turned on the team and did a bunch of bad shit.
It's like suddenly remembering at this stage is worse than forgetting.
Yes,
right. For the last 2 movies, we've just accepted that. If we've
accepted it, we've accepted it.
Yeah, going back to the well doesn't. And I guess apparently, even though I didn't notice this, they're doing the same thing with his alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. What are they getting out of that? Is it literally that Stallone can't remember what happened in any Expendables movie?
Literally, this movie just makes every wrong choice.
It's just... which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like, even if you're driving and you're lost, you're gonna, like, 50-60% of the turns you make are still gonna be the right turns. Just naturally. Right?
Stay on the paved road. Don't go to the dirt road.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You would be like, well, that's a river, so I'm not
going to go
there.
in the river.
I mean, I'm saying that, but I know there are reported instances of people,
driving their fucking cars into rivers.
On their GPS, right? And they're just like, well, the GPS told me I gotta
GPS knows
drive
what
into
it's
the
doing.
River. But to sort of fuck it up this magnificently, and really easy stuff as well, like you say, it's just easier to forget that Dolph Lundgren was ever a traitor.
Yeah.
Than to have half a scene where you bring it up and it becomes a point of character conflict between two people, one of whom wasn't involved in that situation at all, and has no skin in that game. It's bizarre. It's literally bizarre. I mean, maybe it's just like, I know Stallone isn't in full charge of this, but maybe, too many blows to the head over the years, and we're getting, in lieu of Parkinson's disease.
Yes, exactly. We have this script.
He's got Parkinson's of the brain.
Parkinson's of the writing.
Parkinson's of the writing. There we go. That's a better t-shirt. Monkey hands on the front. Parkinson's of the writing on the back.
All right. Let's take a break.
When Muhammad Ali got Parkinson's, it was like he was still sharp as a tack inside his head, but physically he just, he couldn't control himself. Stallone's the opposite. Like, he's completely placid on the outside. Yeah. Inside, he's a quivering
rotting corpse. All right. Let's take a break and we'll come back right after this.
I like to think I know something about beer, but nowadays even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores. Back in the day you had one, maybe two craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beerstinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need, the Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas Beer Guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They'll try new beers, they'll tell you about beer. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with EXPEND4BLES, the 2023 film directed by Scott Waugh.
What happened? That's my question.
That's a good one.
I can't do my work.
Here's what a mess this movie is, because
I don't think so.
They think Barney's dead, right? And they go back.
Okay, are we gonna start there? Okay, well, we got to get there sometime, yeah, because it happens pretty soon. Well, no,
that's where I am.
Well, yeah, I don't want to. Definitely don't want to take us back, but I guess we have to acknowledge. Instead of, like, I'm not saying I want another 15-minute sequence where we're recruiting all these people, but we've got to have some more ceremony than 50 Cent wandering into a garage and putting his bag down.
Oh, I was going to say, he walks in, but it's covered because Stallone, again, knows everybody. He's like, hey, easy day. I know you. We worked together back in the day then. I know this guy, everyone. So now he's on the team. That's all you need.
What did you say his name was? Easy Day?
Easy Day.
They took too many easy days while they were making this movie, I'll tell you that much.
And then, of course...
I think you need to work into the evening.
You know what I like? Jason Statham, Christmas, Easy Day, Gunner. And then you have Megan Fox, Gina.
Sidney Applebaum.
Yeah.
You know there's a Jewish Dracula. What's his name? Sidney Applebaum.
Sidney Applebaum. Oh, what a good sketch.
That's so funny. So funny. And but you mentioned this, I think, in the ranking episode. Antonio Banderas' in-world son, but not his real-world son.
No. Yeah.
I'm assuming. And also no reason why he needs to be the guy's son.
No reason.
If you can't get Banderas, write another character.
Other than he
did
can,
it with all the others.
He can seem to match his voice and cadence pretty well.
Is that Stallone's racism kind of rearing its head? Like, well, we gotta get another...
Yeah.
Latin.
That makes sense. That tracks.
He's Banderas' son. That explains why he's Latin.
That's why he talks fast.
Yeah. It's like, well, what? So Megan Fox has got to be Charisma Carpenter's sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the only way that could go down. No. It's a double standard.
Galan.
Yeah. They just need... Again, we don't need Kelsey Grammer... 15 minutes of a Kelsey Grammer montage. We never need that. But, unless he's playing Frasier. But, we don't even need that, because that reboot was terrible. But we need some sense of change and... For this to work, we need a sense of change and renewal. And that's what the last film had. Like, when it was replacing people... When it was doing surrogacy, it was talking about the nature of surrogacy.
Yeah,
this is the kind of business. People disappear, they come back, they disappear forever. They're injured for a while, then they come back. Like, it's all explained in world, whereas this is just like, it's like a gym that you just turn up in and start. It's like, well, I'm today's mercenary. I'm today's expendable.
Yeah, today on this film, it's just here's the team.
It's just like Murphy Brown personal
Some guys are gone.
All of them.
These guys are all new. Like, Megan Fox is clearly already part of the team, and then it's like meet 50 Cent and meet...
Is she, though?
What's his name's brother or son?
Isn't she like real CIA? That has never worked with them before and only works with them under duress? Is that clear?
No, I thought she's part of the team and... like, has vaulted, like, she has some line where she's like, Barney knows that I'm the best, that I'm even better than you, or something like that. When she's talking to Statham.
But then why would she be cast in the role of the nagging girlfriend who's like, where are you going when you go off to do your stuff? It's like, well, you were there.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't make any sense. She would be that character if she was... But what I assumed, and again, I'm obviously doing way too much headcanon work for this fucking ludicrous attempt at a movie, but I assumed it's like, oh, I work for like the real version of what you do, you old bald weirdo.
Yeah. Yeah. That might be it.
That's what I thought was going on here.
All right,
but I may be wrong. In trying to apply logic, I may be wrong. Panic attack, Xanax, they're all on medication.
True.
And that's okay because it's 2023. Yeah, the Expendables get there after everyone's been killed that they need to save, so them being there is pointless.
Pointless, useless.
It really does.
But it's still the same day.
Well, that's it. It feels like the movie is just slightly out of sync. Like, tragically out of sync.
Yeah.
The Expendables get there. It's like, hey, everyone's already dead. What do we do? We'd have been here an hour earlier.
I don't know. Let's have a truck chase.
And it's weird, like Barney / Stallone is now kind of so old that he's kind of, what they say, like, the older you get, you kind of cycle back to childhood. You have like a second childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very childlike in this movie. Like, he's acting very childlike.
Yeah.
like Rocky before he won the title, kind of
Right.
character. And it just, it could fit. It could totally fit. It could be like the, your 100th birthday is the same as your first birthday Seinfeld joke.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what they're playing. It's just like another weird anomaly that Stallone is suddenly gleeful and happy and acting like he's Dick Van... well, Dick Van Dyke, that's a bad example. He is actually
amazing. I'd love to see him trip over an ottoman.
I picked the one childlike man who's also 100. Well, this truck chase is where... Because we've seen digital imagery before in the series, so you can write off the entirely CGI landscape of the opening to, okay, so they might dig in and do more practical stuff later. But when you see this truck chase, you're like, oh, this entire movie is filmed in strawberry fields because nothing is real.
Right. It's astonishing to watch.
I've never seen reality look this
fake.
Augmented before.
Yes, augmented is the good way to put it.
I've not seen such bad matching of foreground and background in a long time in cinema.
Yeah.
You have to go back to those young Indiana Jones TV episodes where Lucasfilm are kind of playing around with CGI. Or the first couple of Star Wars prequels. Probably a more famous example of that. There's a moment later on when they're in the it's here. There's like the desert, and I'm like, this looks like outtakes from Attack of the Clones when they fall off the ship and land in the desert. They've forsaken their claim to practical cinema.
Almost
After
completely.
This movie, you have to reclassify this as an animation.
Mm-hmm.
I think legally this movie is an animation. Not enough of it is live action to constitute a live action. You can't legally call it a live action movie anymore. And part of me's just like, is this, because you would know, is this what it's like now? Is this an egregious example of what movies look like now? Or is this what all movies look like and this is the norm?
No,
I
this
don't
is
know.
an egregious example.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. Other movies are
literally,
doing it better.
Okay, good. That's what I assumed.
But
when
it's
you
interesting
see this, you
that
go, wow, they released this like it was okay.
It's
I'm
interesting
worried
that George Lucas has been working his whole career to do something just so he didn't have to leave his home, like The Volume.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that now...
And then the worst part about that is he didn't even complete that. Someone else did.
Someone else did. Favreau, I guess?
He gets to walk around it and go, this is pretty neat.
This is what I was thinking of.
This is what I was thinking of, yeah. And now I'm too old to enjoy it.
Yeah. But meanwhile, it's like the beginning of the end of cinema.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. It's insane. And that it got to the point. I tell you how desperate I got with it. I was in two minds about whether I wanted them to. It looked so bad. I was in two minds about whether I wanted them to keep the camera still or not. Because then I thought, at least if the camera's
moving, I can't. It's blurry. I can't see what's going on in the background. Yeah.
It looks more real when the camera is moving than if it's still.
Well, first of all, ring on skeleton bone is hilarious. It's amazing.
Can you imagine if in OG Star Wars, like, Luke found his uncle and aunt's bodies there, and he was just like, let me just take that ring off there. Here's my lucky ring. Didn't work today.
That lucky ring wasn't so lucky. You said they had you faked out, but my note was Barney's dead, ? Don't believe that.
I mean, that's the thing. In a movie, I'm taking this movie at face value. If you're showing me a corpse, if you're showing me a burnt out corpse, I'm be like, well, there's no way to manufacture that. unless you murder an innocent man. And I didn't go.
All you have to do is murder someone.
Because I'm better than that. I'm better than that. No, but I guess because I'm thinking glass half full, I'm thinking, wow, Stallone's doing something he's never done in a franchise before.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be the one thing I like about the movie. And I was clinging to that hope that he wouldn't walk it back.
Well, here's one of the moments where I thought to myself, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, like how far off the mark this movie is, because Andy Garcia's Marsh comes in and he kind of fires Statham. Statham, you're off the team. Megan Fox, you're in charge. Sorry.
I literally, my note was, I think the other reason that I was glass half full was I was like, I'm kind of okay with it being Statham's franchise now.
Right, yeah.
And then the very next scene, you're like, okay, you're off
out.
the team. I'm like, no. That's the reason I assume you did this, was so Statham, who, let's face it, is probably a more bankable star than Stallone is now.
Yeah.
So it made commercial sense. It made dramatic sense.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be true so badly. But already the movie's showing me that that's not what they're thinking. That's not
what's on their mind. So they fire him, and then in the very next moment, he pulls out a huge newspaper with classified ads. And I thought to myself, do newspapers still have classified ads?
I'm so glad you wrote that note, because I have the same thing. Like, I know they're supposed to be anachronisms, but I don't think they're that prehistoric in that
doesn't make sense.
They're sort of like, hey, let's look at what's that thing called, what's that newspaper called that has all the classifieds in?
Oh, I don't remember.
Shopper. That kind of like
Yeah.
I think, well, especially as he has a cell phone, because we see him delete Stallone's contact on there as if he needs the space.
I was going to say, do you do that when someone in your life dies? Erase their name from your contacts?
Listen, I'm friends with people on Facebook who have been dead for years.
Yeah, for a long time, yeah.
I could literally go, unfriend. What's the point? No, it's mean. It's like the whole point of digital storage is that it's kind of limitless. Mm-hmm. So I can occasionally look and go, oh, isn't it sad that person died?
Yeah. I don't do the thing where
it's bizarre.
On Facebook, I don't do the thing on their birthday where I wish them a heavenly birthday.
Oh, did people do that really?
Yeah, they do that a lot. Happy heavenly birthday. They post on their timeline.
That's really that's really going to shake up. It's really going to shake up the person who's using that as a fake identity. You're like, shit, a lot of messages today. Fuck, I can steal these people's money. It's not. I'm not really dead. Yeah, and because I was full of praise for this story move. I was like, well, this franchise kind of puts its money where its mouth is for a legacy sequel. Like, letting characters die is kind of a...
I just never believed Stallone would let that happen.
They won't let Indiana Jones die,
yeah.
They won't let them have dignified deaths. I mean, it's more dignified than what he ends up, than the fact that he murdered someone.
Right.
To pull off this subterfuge. I guess looking back, I should have known that the funeral would have been more elaborate if it was real.
Mm.
But that doesn't make sense either, because the characters do think he's dead, so the funeral should be bigger in world. The fact that it's not is a giveaway that they're not really doing it for
it's
real.
Just drinks at the bar.
But like this, this is where you bring back, everyone comes from the Expendables or from Stallone's career. Have like Bridget Nielsen there.
You're right. Like it should be a scene that Arnold's in and that the other people are in.
Jackie,
but they've
Jackie playing Mrs. Barney.
They've all been
Blackie. Blackie Stallone. Yeah, so I should have known. as you say, and you obviously clocked that that's what they were doing. But I thought he would do it for the sake of novelty, because otherwise, as I said this before, otherwise, why the hell are you making this movie if you're not gonna?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Bring something new to it
they
that
don't,
you've never done before.
Clearly, don't have a reason to make this movie.
Why did they think it would ever work, though? Like, even just commercially, not even artistically. I mean, I understand that they're like, I can understand that everyone involved in this movie is at the stage where they don't really care about what they put out, but I can't understand why they ever thought that people would want to go see it.
I think there's still that mentality of, like, slap the name on it, people will go see it. These movies are popular.
Well, clearly, the trailer, that's why the trailer just throws me, because it's like, they even seem to know that it's not a bankable commodity. Or maybe the trailer was done by people who knew that when they didn't.
Maybe the trailer was done by the same kind of people that, like, put penises into the Little Mermaid poster, and like that. they want to dick around with the Expendables franchise in the same way. Yeah.
Well, I think it also just might be the case of they were trying to like soft pedal the idea that Stallone wouldn't be in the movie much. Because that is a big that is kind of a big deal.
I think part of it was, yes, I think part of it, because I think Stallone has said, I'm done. Like,
okay,
I don't know. There's been talk, despite the fact that this movie was a complete failure, that they might try again. But then I also read that Stallone said he's done. Because I think he's reading the tea leaves of this movie and saying,
as well, though,
I'm not going to do it if it's not great and making lots of money. But
I hate to say this, but it also depends on death. At this point, death is going to be the difference as to whether we get another Expendables movie or not, I think.
Make it quick. Well, he takes a job as security and is beating up a...
Yeah, this is okay.
Silicon Valley bro.
Might be the best scene in the
Tech
movie.
bro. Might be. Yeah, because you might be right about that.
Because, we didn't get... In the last movie, we got them trying to live normal lives interlude, but we didn't do anything comedic with it. And I'm like, well, this is not a bad version of that. Social media is depicted as terrible as it actually is.
Yes.
Working any kind of job is depicted in a modern day environment is depicted as terrible as it actually is. I thought, like, at least this scene is written by someone who exists in the real world.
Yeah.
And, you get to see Statham kicking some people, which, again, why would you give the character the keys to the franchise
and deny him that?
And then didn't immediately deny him that? It doesn't make any sense. Nor does... And also, 100 million. You think that those top secret documents wouldn't look like they were made at Kinko's. 100 million.
Yep.
And then we get into the fight sex.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Fight sex. And, I like the idea of this because, they're both... I think they're both kind of... I know Megan Fox is definitely a sex symbol, but I think Jason Statham has a pretty
he
strong...
has credit as... Yeah. Women love him.
So, there is a sort of, like, how to objectify people's, like, men and women sexually without there being any kind of, like, disparity. Like, fight sex is quite a good way of doing that. But the way they do it ends up with her kind of, like, objectified and passive and making sure we know he's the winner. And I'm like, well, fight sex works to kind of even things out as long as you don't have a winner.
Yeah.
And you don't have to show that in the end she's always going to be trussed up at his behest.
I couldn't remember who won. I didn't write it down.
Well, even if he doesn't technically win. I think she has like a last minute.
Doesn't she? Yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't she turn the tables on him?
Pins him at the end, but I do remember there's a moment where it's made to look like at any point he could like make her do his bidding. I tell you what, this movie also made me think of, and this isn't a good precedent. Trail of the Pink Panther?
Hoofa.
When, Clouseau dies, or Peter Sellers is already dead, but in the world of the movie, he dies about a quarter of the way in.
Yeah.
And I thought, is that what we're going to do here? We're just going to go back and have interviews with old cast members and then show clips from the other Expendables movies?
Right.
And again, I would have preferred that movie.
Would you?
Yeah, totally. In this context, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
What's the alternative? This?
Oh, man, this is crazy. Because I have a note so the team gets on a plane to South Asia. Christmas is in Thailand and finds Barney an old contact. And the next thing I know, the team's Halo jumping onto the ship. The whole rest of this movie is the fucking
Told you,
ship.
It's earlier than you think.
Oh.
Libya and the sea. That's the travel pattern of this movie. Via the USA about 12 times in between. But so what do you understand by the term CIA black site?
Like a place where the CIA does shit they shouldn't be doing.
Doesn't that suggest to you that it's remote?
Yeah.
Does it have to be remote? Can it be in the middle of a bustling city as it is here, in a skyscraper? Where literally anyone could see them doing what they're doing if they have binoculars. Certainly not a glass skyscraper with windows.
They didn't pull the shades?
That would be great if we just sort of say, hang on a moment. And they just kind of slowly pulled out all the shades. I'll be nearly done.
Fucking a lot of windows.
I got to do this for 120
windows.
Yep. But anyway, I was like, I don't think you, the Princess Bride, I don't think that means what you think it means.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a black site. I think what you mean is CIA headquarters.
Office.
The word you're looking for is office. And didn't you assume? I guess this is their version of a red herring. But didn't you assume that this woman with glasses who's running the show was the mole? Before you find out it's Andy Garcia, I suppose that's supposed to be the red herring because she's so put out.
I couldn't tell if they were trying to indicate to me that she was the mole or if she was just a terrible actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's how bad this movie is that it could be either.
Fuck, again, this movie continues to be a structural nightmare. I nearly said conceptual nightmare, which is also true. But in this sense, I mean structural nightmare. Because we're cross-cutting with Statham doing a lone wolf version of everything that the others are doing.
Right.
And now, I don't know this guy. I don't know this Merle. I don't know how he makes his money. But he goes and
swabbing that deck, it looks like.
Boat person.
Yeah.
Who is like a Indonesian action star, I believe.
Okay.
And I thought, I don't know him, but I liked what he and Statham had.
I did too. Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm happy to watch this for a bit. It would be better if I knew who this guy was, but
right.
It's Expend4BLES. So, gotta take what you're given.
Yeah.
That should have been the subtitle. Expend4BLES. Take what you're given. Or leave. So, yeah, and the only kind of 1970 style James Bond aside about Megan Fox is one of them says, or her. Like, come on. We're better than that.
They're not, though. They're not better than that.
No, they're not better than that, but 2023 is better than that.
Yes.
What I'm saying. As was 2000 2014,
Yeah.
2012,
10.
2010. And this is, we've already talked about this, but this is where 50 Cent, suddenly his character is defined by hating Dolph Lundgren for something that happened long ago that he was...
And everybody else has been okay with.
This is his character, is that... Okay, you'd be like Ed Wood with the megaphone going. All right, so you hate Dolph Lundgren. No, not that much. You're not that... You don't hate him that much.
You're very angry.
Yeah.
Just a little less angry.
Because he even says snitches get stitches. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Why do you care? Nobody cares.
It's part of the code.
Yeah. Tell me something about you. Who are you? What are
exactly.
your wants and needs? 50 Cent, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. How did you get the name Easy Day? I bet there's a story there. Leave Dolph Lundgren alone. They try and do one of those slow motion walks of the team.
Yes.
When they first got on the boat, it looks so janky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't help that they're against an entirely fake background.
Right.
But they obviously haven't been choreographed to walk in time, in sequence,
Nope.
with each other, around each other,
Like they're
looking
a team.
in the same direction. And actually, there's a lot of this. There's once we get on the boat, I would say conservatively 25% of it is what I started to refer to as non-outtake takes of them looking around confused, which I feel like are the actors rather than the characters.
Because there's this
And
moment
they just
that's
put
like,
in as and they just put in as filler throughout these sequences because we're not going anywhere else.
we get them on the boat, we get a slow motion walk, there's nobody around, they get onto the bridge, there's nobody there, they just get caught.
Yeah.
This elite group of mercenaries just gets caught.
But they get caught because Andy
Because a
Garcia's...
woman's in charge now?
No, because Andy Garcia's trapped them there, right?
Yeah, that's true. But did you notice, by the way? So this was my next...
Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
sorry, for anyone who has yet to see EXPEND4BLES,
Andy
Garcia
Garcia
turns out to be the bad
is
guy.
the bad guy. But did you notice
Ocelot.
when...
Ocelot. Why the fuck is he called Ocelot?
Is that him? Oh, I could just... Well, I just wrote down Marsh, his actual...
No, that's not his name. That's like the kind of name of the traitor. His code name is Ocelot.
Yeah.
Which, I don't even know what an ocelot... It's an animal. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't visualize what an ocelot is. What is it?
Some kind of mammal?
I love that Metallica album. Some kind of mammal. No, don't look. He's getting his phone. Don't look up what an ocelot is. It doesn't matter. They didn't think about it. Why should we? Is it a particularly sneaky animal?
Oh, it's like a small cat, like a leopard. Tiny leopard.
To be fair, that does look exactly like Andy Garcia. I will now refer to Andy Garcia as Ocelot.
I was going to say, did you notice? So they get up on the bridge and they get caught. And I think the main baddie points not the main baddie, because Andy Garcia is the main baddie, but who we think is the main baddie points a gun at Andy Garcia's head and he kind of starts crying.
Yeah.
Which I guess is his ploy.
Well, it's really interesting you mentioned, because you say, did you notice this? It's all I noticed. Because I was like, I can't tell if Andy Garcia's acting is too good, misplaced.
Yes.
Or when you find out he's the villain, that it's all it's part of his ploy.
Yeah,
He's doing
exactly.
a Palpatine. Where he's pretending to be a bad actor because that fits better with his plan for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's weird. Watching Andy Garcia act in this movie is weird. It's a
odd.
weird experience. You never know where you are with him.
Yep.
And some of that's the story, and then some of that's Andy Garcia not knowing what he is doing in this movie. I mean, I think of Andy Garcia. I think he's fairly trustworthy. He tends not to go off either end. You tend to get a pretty solid performance out of him. But in this movie, all over the place is generous. It's lots of he's lots of different characters, and they're all unconvincing. That's the best way I can put it.
See, I kept asking myself, is Andy Garcia the only person in this movie that knows how bad a movie he's in, and he's just trying to match that for fun?
He's still lowballing them if that's the case. That's the bit that puzzles me.
Yeah.
It's not Billy Zane in Titanic who's like, I'm having fun because this makes no sense. It's Andy Garcia in Expend4BLES going, I mean, I don't have to try, but maybe I'll try harder than they're expecting me to? Does that work? Is that a thing in acting where something is very bad, so you do something good, but wrong?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was all over this Jason Statham getting onto the boat with the grappling hook because the mismatch of him climbing a rope with that fake background of sky and water. And...
Oh, I have a note about that. Do you know what's really off in that, apart from everything?
Everything?
The scale.
Yes, that too.
Because Jason Statham is small, but he's not that small.
Yeah.
It's like
Stuart Little is climbing
small.
a fucking rope to the goddamn
it's like
boat.
Gary Coleman small, and he doesn't know exactly what they're talking about. Yeah, it's and this is where I wrote down. This is why I keep saying like an insane person, 100 million with a question mark at the end, because. To me, this all spells we don't have any money.
We have no money.
Because not only are they...
This is also where the pull-out shot to the satellite is.
You have your characters not only trapped on a boat, but locked in a cabin as well. That tells me you don't have any money.
Yeah.
That's like what Roger Corman would do. You'd be like, okay, we're going to... I managed to find a disused cabin at the beach. Okay, this is where this action takes place, and what will have happen is Dick Miller will grab Brett Nicholson and tell him the plot of the movie.
It doesn't matter what we do and how little money we have. We have Dick Miller.
That's my favorite talking head moment in the Roger Corman documentaries where Jack Nicholson says, I'll tell you how fucked up that movie was. Dick Miller had to grab me and tell me the plot of the movie just so the audience knew. Yes, that is where we get the Men in Black zoom as well.
So fucking funny.
The guards are distracted by looking at Jason Statham on social media.
Oh, really? I just have him. I have Statham going around.
That's how
doing a lot of knife killing.
So that's the kind of irony is that they're on social media and they're like, look at this guy kicking this guy's ass, on is it Instagram, TikTok?
Sure.
Like that. And we're having a go at them looking at the classifieds in newspapers. We don't even know what social media platform it is. And that's the distraction he needs to actually attack them IRL.
IRL?
In real life.
Gotcha.
You didn't know that's what that stood for?
No.
Wow.
Not a 9-year-old girl.
Look at you leafing through Soldier of Fortune.
You're like, what's her name? Gabby in Sleepless in Seattle?
I will say... I don't want to be in a transgender drama with Jeffrey Tambor. I will say, though, that for many years I thought URL was the same as IRL. Until I realized that was internet.
Yeah, that's an internet thing. I know that one.
www. So that's a kind of fun moment, I suppose. That's the best I can say about it.
I did have a little fun.
At least something that happened, like, relates to something else that happened. Right?
Yes.
Looking on the bright side. Something that happened in a previous scene will come back in a way that will be useful to a subsequent scene.
I had a little bit of a good time.
Not shooting for the moon.
Watching.
It's there.
I had a little bit of a good time watching this stupid motorcycle with guns on the front chase. Because
Bikes on a boat.
Yeah, Bikes on a Boat was really dumb and, kind of a delight to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the series obsession with odd vehicular combinations continues, right?
Yes.
We began Expendables 2 by throwing a bike at a helicopter. And now we're riding around bikes on a boat. But again, feels like what you do when you have limited resources. And with a budget like that, there's no reason why their budget resources should be so limited. Oh, I think I know where the budget went. Just wait for the credit check.
Okay.
I figured it out.
All right.
We'll get there.
What's this? I wrote down paper plane jump, shoot, and land.
Paper plane jump, shoot, and land. Don't know.
Okay.
I didn't write. I feel like if a paper plane was involved, I would have written it down.
Yeah.
Well, now the movie's decided it wants to be a Jason Statham vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Because the team are locked in the cabin, and we don't. Now we're not doing any cross-cutting.
No, right.
Finally.
We're just
early on in the movie.
We're just listening to them talk about inane shit until they figure out they gotta pee on something.
Yeah. It really feels like appropriately given their location that they're treading water. Because I'm watching people fight and I'm going, yeah, technically those are good fight moves. I would normally be enjoying this in an action movie, but I feel like they know it's filler.
Yes,
and
exactly.
That means I can't enjoy it.
Because I've been watching this for 20 minutes already. This is how long it's supposed to be, and I have 30 minutes to go.
Isn't that funny that even if you're watching like action filler in a movie, as long as they are treating it with respect, you go along for the ride. But as soon as you know they're not treating it with respect, you lose interest.
You're like, they're full of shit.
The plane sequence in Quantum of Solace is a classic example of that. Like boredom by association.
I've wiped it from my mind.
You're bored making this. I'm bored watching it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, oh god, this note this is gonna break this movie wide open.
Okay.
This is the truest note I've written I can't believe I didn't remember it. It feels like the later season of a reality show where the new cast cannot live up to what made the show famous. This is the Real Housewives of Orange County season 54.
Fine.
No, we don't even have Tamra or Vicky. All you got is like,
if you say so,
the de rigueur Orange County realtor of the moment.
All of it is a little bit of a mess. And you know what? I forgot because my note here is this is the movie that starts really mimicking John Wick movies.
Okay.
During all of this shootout.
Are John Wick movies good? I guess you're going to make me find out, having me ask.
You'll find out. I'll be interested to know what you think of those movies.
Well, I like Keanu Reeves, I like cats, and I like action, so...
It's a dog, but...
It's a dog. You know what I'm confusing it with?
Garfield?
No, the Key and Peele movie called Keanu.
Oh, Keanu, yeah.
Which Keanu is the cat that gets kidnapped.
That's a funny movie.
I was just disappointed.
Oh, I remember liking it.
Key and Peele's sketch comedy, to me, is the best thing the 21st century has produced in popular culture.
Don't make it 90 minutes, though. Like, just keep the 5-6 minute bits.
No, I just think the form and the style, like I even feel that way, unlike everyone else in the world about Jordan Peele's movies. I'm like, yeah, but it's not Ray Parker Jr. sings, the soundtracks of movies that he never made. Like, you're never gonna reproduce it anyway. Because he's not trying to reproduce it, and that's a good thing. But it's also not a good thing that they'll never reach those heights again with what they do. I mean, Jordan Peele at least is trying to reach those heights.
Yeah.
Michael Key is really happy to do as many commercials as is humanly possible for a human being to do.
Yeah.
Are we due for a break?
Just about, yeah. You want to take a break?
Yeah, I want to specifically take a pee break.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I mean when we're done.
Well, then we'll do that and we'll be right back, right after this.
Did you know that the Everything Sequel podcast has a sequel? It's our Patreon, and for a low monthly donation, you can get up to 2 exclusive, full-length, ad-free bonus episodes. $5 a month gets you an episode discussing all the original movies from the series we've covered on the podcast. And that's a lot of snakeheads. But $10 a month scores you the reboot to boot. Support Everything Sequel on Patreon and reap the benefits of amazing brand new content you quite literally can't get anywhere else. Got more money than sense? We also offer one-time payments that will get you in the driver's seat of the podcast. Maybe even the passenger seat. That metaphor doesn't work, but our show does. So join the Patreon and believe the hype. It's a sequel.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Tom and I are here discussing Expend4BLES. Limping to the finish line, I would say. The 2023 film directed by Scott Waugh.
Bearing in mind that I still think Stallone is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm holding on to that.
That's your one hope?
Yeah. At this point in the movie, so...
No, I'm just like, when's he going to show up? When's he going to save them?
Interesting. Yeah, maybe you're not as in the bag for Stallone as I am.
How dare you?
You've never taken offense to anything I've said. Sir, you have gone too far. I demand satisfaction.
Challenge you to a duel, sir.
What are you fighting this duel over? Who's the biggest Stallone fan? Well, I guess it's kind of appropriate that it's a duel.
All right. We're here for the pee break.
So, they make a reference to golden showers, am I right in thinking that...
I think so.
They talk about how Megan Fox pees on him?
Oh.
Or maybe the reverse? Obviously,
I thought it was more general than that. No? Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I was like, am I a prude who hasn't realized that peeing on someone during sex is now a mainstream sexual activity, or is that's still something where in a movie you go ooh when you hear it? Like,
I think it's still a new
when I hear it. Okay. Because I feel like it goes beyond sexual innuendo, but then someone could come back to me and be like, for some people it's as normal as, any of the other stuff I don't want to pin myself down as saying is normal. All right, conversation abandoned. Let's move on.
Very good, then.
I'm jettisoning this conversation into space. Bye. Bye forever.
I'm jet-leeing this conversation.
See you golden showers tangent. Bye-bye. Oh, here's a moment that...
Were you going to connect it to Randy Couture peeing on the thing so they could escape?
I forgot that was what it was in reference to. You remembered that, though. All I wrote down was golden showers.
Okay.
So he pees on... Oh, by the way, we've gone past the point where he repeats the monologue from Expendables, right? Earlier on.
I think so, yeah.
That yet to happen?
I'm glad you asked. You know what's weird is somebody asks him about the cauliflower ears, and he's like, I'm glad you asked. And then he starts giving the same speech, but he does it walking away from 50 Cent instead of like 50 Cent just watches him leave.
And it's yet another example of looping back to the first film as if the second and third never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Are they ashamed of 2 and 3?
Well, I think that's a repeated thing.
Sort of?
I think he brings it up in 2 again.
The cauliflower is?
I think so.
I feel like Expendables was the first time I heard about it. And of course, I watched this in the obvious order that you watch movies, where you start with the second and then go to the fourth and then go back to the first.
After getting to the end.
We're lunatics. We're absolute lunatics. What are we doing? But
living life right, I tell you.
I think it would have been a stronger statement if we just stopped mentioning his ears at all. But I can't imagine. I can't imagine Stallone and his entourage would for some reason be respectful about disability in a way they're not with gender, with race. Not that it's a disability.
At a certain point, because we're like once they pee on the bilge system and find a way out, the 2 teams immediately find each other. So you got Statham, well, not the 2 teams, but Statham, the single guy, finding his team and them working together. And at some point, I wrote, "This movie is giving me big time Ghoulies 4 vibes." Like that.
Oh, interesting
level of filmmaking.
Wasn't that vaguely enjoyable, though?
That was more enjoyable than this, for sure.
I guess it's less of a decline.
Yeah, exactly.
From Ghoulies to Ghoulies 4 than to Expendables to Expend4BLES. Oh, here's a moment that shows how you don't do meta, right? Like metatextuality can very easily become confusing when it's not done properly.
Right.
So, a 50 Cent song playing.
Oh, yeah.
While 50 Cent songs played by 50 Cent.
Yeah.
In a movie where he is not playing 50 Cent just makes you think, is he playing 50 Cent?
What's going on? Yeah.
Is Easy Day 50 Cent? In the same way that I was like, that could, if we heard no more about the Arnold Schwarzenegger character in the sequels, I'm leaving Expendables thinking that's Arnold Schwarzenegger who just walked into the church. Right now, I'm genuinely thinking, is this the real 50 Cent?
Yeah.
Is he Bill Murraying in Zombieland?
Yeah, exactly.
But do you think about how deftly they dealt with the interplay between actors and their kind of public persona in previous movies, and they're unthinkingly having 50 Cent play a 50 Cent song and breaking the fourth wall, without commenting on it.
It's nuts.
Crazy. The drop off in thought between the two. I think, right?
You know what's the better choice? Like, these guys all have beef with one another. So who has 50 Cent battled with? And then you think it's being played as the musical score, and then you have him shoot a boombox, and it turns off, and he's like, "I've always hated that fucking guy."
That's what you do. You have it. You think they're going to play a 50 Cent song, and they play a P Diddy song.
Yeah,
I think that's just about safe. Before we knew, so at the time it wouldn't have been the war crime.
The worst choice ever.
Yes. Yeah. Because I mean, you look at back in Expendables 2, you've got Schwarzenegger and Willis trading catchphrases. It's like that's an interesting variation of metatextuality. This is like, oh, well, what song are we going to use? Well, 50 Cent's there, so let's have him.
Let's use one of his.
Listen to a 50 Cent song. Is it In the Club?
I don't know.
The one that goes dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
I can vaguely remember that, but watching you perform it has made it all worth it. The dance moves, everyone, were special. I'm sorry you couldn't see it.
I once went to see a comedian who was a character comic who played a bad DJ, and he brought me up from the audience, and he was a bad DJ whose real job was he was a teacher, and so what he had a game. The character, where he would do
or the
this was the character. No, this was the character called DJ Danny. And he had a mix, and what he had was a game where on like a chalkboard he had like all these songs are in this mix. Underline it when you hear it. And I was the one who was brought up on stage to do it. And I remember one of them was "In the Club" by 50 Cent. And so I was writing it out on the chalkboard, and I turned to him and I turned to DJ Danny and said, "Is it in da club, DA?" And he went, "Yeah, I believe it is." And then he said, "I like you. You care about spelling and grammar." I wasn't even doing it as a bit. Like, I'm audience member on stage. My brain is not thinking there. I'm just like literally going, I'm trying to get this right for you.
Yeah.
So that's my memory of that particular song.
Great.
I had a moment where I couldn't figure out whether the characters were walking in slow motion, whether they were glitchy because they were against a fake background, or they were just walking slowly but in actual time. But I was just like, whatever the answer is, what I'm getting is Uncanny Valley for all of it. This.
Yes. Isn't there a moment where
this ocean is actually a river that connects the Uncanny Hill to the Uncanny Valley?
I can't believe I didn't write it down, because I'm remembering like some large vehicle jumping on the boat and then getting blown up midair. Wasn't there a car or a motorcycle or something like?
Probably. This is before Stallone comes in.
Yeah.
With the
well, because
helicopter.
I think where I'm at right now, they've gotten to the back of the boat and they've rappelled down to the small boat.
Mm-hmm.
And Statham cuts the line off, and this is the moment.
Smaller boat.
When we get off air, go ahead and look at the picture I sent to you.
Okay.
Because this is the moment that I said looked like a Wes Anderson movie. Specifically, it looks like the Fantastic Mr. Fox, because everything looks fake. Ship looks fake, water looks fake, small boat looks fake, background looks fake, and there's somebody like climbing down a rope towards the small boat. It's amazing. And it really made me like just laugh out loud when I was watching it live. Yeah. I howled with laughter as to how inept it all looked. And it goes right back to your other note about the wrong, like everything looks out of place size-wise. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also, should this technically be classified as an animation?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's those kind of like WGA rules about, how much of a script someone has to write to get credit. Mm-hmm. Is it not also the case that if the movie doesn't have enough live action in it, you can't call it a live action movie?
There was this part of me, because Statham gets to the bridge, he kills a bunch of people and gets to the bridge, and then the next thing you know, there's 30 more guys, and they're kind of heading up towards the bridge, and first they're spraying it with bullets, and he runs out of bullets, and the movie takes the time that I suppose worked on you, because it looks It looks like the movie's taking the time to show
I
us
want to
that...
believe. I want to believe.
the movie's taking the
This is
time...
a rare note of hope in my psyche
to
that
show
you're killing
us
right now.
that Statham has given up, that he's accepted that he's
Yeah.
going to die in this moment. And this is where I said...
Well, I knew something would come along. I just didn't know it was going to be...
This is the Stallone moment, right? And then, of course,
Yeah,
he
but
shows
it could
up
have
on the
been
helicopter.
someone else.
Yeah.
It could have been Terry Crews. It could have been anyone who we know hasn't been killed in the franchise. You know? And it would be a perfect cameo for someone who wasn't dead in the universe of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst things about watching this movie when I did was that I was actually watching some quite good action cinema alongside it, because I have a note here that the movie Hard Boiled, the John Woo Hong Kong action movie, I think it's about the same point in the movie when they go into the hospital and the rest of the movie is one sustained action sequence inside a hospital.
Oh, yeah.
So I was watching this alongside that and I was going, being in one location isn't actually the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is what you do with it.
Yeah.
Look what John Woo did with... You're just like, you start watching and go, I can't believe they're still in the hospital. They literally they covered every inch of this building with gunfire. And it's still interesting. You're not going, I need them to go somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
Whereas like 10 minutes into the
you can
boat,
make it
I'm
interesting.
like, I really want to get... I'm seasick. Can I get off this boat?
Please get off this fucking boat.
I'm there with my life preserver, just like, yep, need to get off this boat. Need to get off this boat.
You're like Rain Man.
So,
gotta get off the boat. Gotta
like,
get off
again,
the boat. Yeah. Get me off the boat. Yeah.
A famous autistic superhero, Rain Man. So again, I think like along with the Stallone death fake out, it can work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this movie can work. It's this kind of an action movie is not unprecedented at all.
They just made every wrong choice.
Every wrong choice, yeah. But it's kind of weird because when you haven't seen the movie and you're watching it and you know how much everyone hated it, you're like, you'd leave the movie going, it was just a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But on a case-by-case basis, I'm like, no, this could work. And the people involved could pull it off. Stallone and Statham.
Yeah, they've done good things.
They had a
before.
decent director.
Right, yeah.
They could pull it off. We've seen it. The last two movies have shown us that this kind of material can work if you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to rest on your laurels. You can do something different every time. And still make it work. But this is not that.
It's hard to pinpoint how it went so wrong. Because if you have the guiding force of Stallone...
He's not a guiding force anymore, I don't think.
I think that's part of it.
I think he's a misguiding force now. No, I mean... That's see you're back on top in the Stallone fandom after that comment. Politically, I mean, I haven't seen Tulsa King, but no one is urging me to see it. No one is urging me to see it as if it's like
the best,
you know. And compare that to like Harrison Ford. Everyone's like, you got to see Shrinking. It's his best acting in years. You got to see not Yellowstone. Was it 1923?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it was called? It's like, oh, he's a revelation in that. He suddenly decided to do TV at 80, and he's fucking...
And he's killing it, yeah.
And then I watch those things. I don't like the shows, but I like him in them. No one's telling me to watch Tulsa King because it's his best acting since Rocky, you know? And everything else he is involved with is a problem for humanity.
Right.
Including this.
Yeah.
So... I don't know what's going on. I remember really early on in this podcast you said to me, no one tries to make a bad film.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like they tried to make a bad film.
Yeah, that's tough.
They certainly weren't fighting it if that was not their impulse.
No, I don't think it looks like they were trying to make a bad film. I think it looks like they have no idea how to make a good film.
Yeah, which is ludicrous, given who's involved.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, Barney gets what he wanted all along. He gets to kill the ocelot.
Yeah.
He even takes that away from fucking Statham.
Yeah, and I mean, it is more on brand for Stallone to pull this kind of, you know, the story demands that the character dies,
right?
But I refuse to kill them.
But the actor refuses to take that.
The actor refuses to do it. Yeah, but but it shows a real lack of courage, you know, to not let Barney die.
How about that CGI missile sinking the boat underwater? I mean, that boat sinks fast.
Yeah. And by the way, in between everything we've talked about, there are a lot of kind of hand-to-hand combat scenes where two characters pair up, and these are the Thai and Indonesian equivalents of Stallone and Van Damme fighting. It's just that
we don't know
them. Don't know that. And that's our problem as white people.
Sure.
But it's also the movie's problem in not recognizing that the only people who are watching this are white people.
Yeah.
Who someone who cares about diversity is not interested in these movies. And, you know, won't watch American action cinema, but will watch, you know, third world action cinema. Those are not the people coming to your movies, Sly. I'm sorry. As much as you would like it to be that's not what's happening.
I got a note here. One of my last notes. So he takes that. He's like, "What's going on here? How'd you live?" And I forgot that character's name that beat him at the Thumb War. His name was Jumbo Shrimp.
That's right.
And so my last note is, so he just murdered Jumbo Shrimp?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I guess it's so misplaced because he and Statham are laughing.
It's the most... Yeah.
Like it's just the most hilarious prank they've ever played. It's like Homer trying to do his pranks at college and ends up getting the dean run over by a goddamn car.
Oh, you know, when he beats the Hamburglar to death.
Yeah.
Not realizing he's not real.
Yeah.
And that kid goes, "Stop hitting him, he's already dead." That's what I'm screaming at Stallone.
Yeah.
You killed him, man. Yeah, it's the most callous possible ending, and it really undermines what I think is the feel-good nature of this series.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as you say, they're acting as if this is a feel-good moment.
Right.
Well, what they're doing is acting like serial killers. Like, the fact that one of them isn't going, "I think you went too far," is a real problem.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Like when Stallone says, "Remember Jumbo Shrimp?" Like, Statham should be like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's him."
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like a Hannibal Lecter joke.
You just murdered him?
It? Yeah, it's a Hannibal Lecter joke. Ooh, not anymore. He ain't Jumbo no more. Let's just say that Jumbo Shrimp got deep fried. Yeah, I mean, I wrote that they go back to Rusty's and have their standard ending despite not earning a bit of it.
Right.
And murdering an innocent man into the bargain. Yeah, but he does report it like, you know, the tone of his reportage is, "Hey, you know what I bumped into the other day?"
Yeah.
You remember Ron? Oh, yeah, I remember Ron. Yeah. Nice back in town. Yeah, Ron's back in town. He's using that tone.
I drugged him, stowed him on a plane, and put him in the seat to die.
Hey, you know that incidental character? Well, I burned him alive.
Then I parachuted out, and none of you saw my black parachute with a skull on it.
I mean, do we even need to discuss whether it was necessary for him to fake his own death?
Well, it was a minor, stupid plot point about a sealed file could only be opened once Barney was dead.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
It doesn't make any sense, though, because the one who's opening it is Andy Garcia, and he's the one that wouldn't want it open.
Yep. You figured out the loophole there, haven't you? Jesus.
So he could just say, no, there's a double secret classification, and both Stallone and Statham have to die before it's open. Like, he could just make it whatever he wants.
You just made that ending worse for me, because now, not only did Jumbo Shrimp die, he died for nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
He died for a plot point that doesn't even make sense.
All right, you got a credit check?
Sure.
Sure. That's the most excited I've ever heard you be for a credit check.
You won't be excited because most of my notes on this movie are my credit check.
All right, you start. I'll take a nap.
I've never seen... Oh, yes. So, first of all, the style of the credits. Instead of the dog tags, this time we get...
Oh, yeah.
Drone pilot video game credits is my... It's literally like they've gone they're like, well, the movie looks like a video game, so I guess the credits should as well. Now, 50 Cent, or Fiddy as I call him...
Of course.
...is listed as Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Have we learned nothing from Prince? Either make people say the new name or keep your old name. Don't ask them to say both. No picture eye gents this time. This is the only movie or the only sequel that doesn't have them, because it feels like everything in the movie is a victim of cutbacks. Sylvester Stallone gets the "and" billing here.
Makes sense for how long his character's missing.
Yeah, but if you think about the last two movies, that murderer's row of actors competing for, are we going to get an "and" or "with" and "also"? Now Stallone is one of those actors scrabbling for credit. Now this is where the money went. A lot of undisclosed private financing rears its ugly head in these credits. Media Capital, Templeton Media Production, a company called New Boyana.
Okay.
And then my favorite, which almost sounds like, because it sounds so much like Grab, Grubman. So all these companies...
Sounds like a worm company.
It's asset stripping, right? All these companies have fleeced the movie with money.
That's why it's $100 million. They actually spent $15 million, and $85 million went to these companies.
Yeah. Well, there must be something fishy about them, because they weren't included in the production logos.
Mm-hmm.
If this wasn't dark money you're taking, you'd put it up front.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Michael J. Duthie memoriam turned out to be an editor who died making the film, which is terribly sad, but also sad to think that the movie we just watched looked like the editor died during it. But that's exactly what it looked like.
Was the movie The Cause? Like, he's like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, he was perfectly healthy before he started working on this movie.
Passed away in his editing chair.
Did you notice how small the credits were? The
no.
actual size of the writing? Because I was like, this is difficult to read on a TV screen. And I thought, how much bigger would it be in a movie theater? And then I had the sad thought. I was like, wow, so few people would know that.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to really ask around to find out someone who's seen this in a movie theater. You haven't even seen it in a movie theater.
No.
which is essentially saying no one has.
$8 million worth opening weekend and 16.7 here in America.
All of that went into Templeton Media Productions pockets. Assistant to 50.
Oh, God.
And Dolph Lundgren. So everyone in the main cast gets their own assistant, but these two have to bunk up with assistants. One of the credits is trailer manager to Jason Statham. And I was thinking, yeah, I suppose with all that fight fucking, you would really need someone to reset the trailer afterwards.
Mop it down.
I wasn't going with bodily fluids. It was all you. Oh, and there'd be pee there as well if it. Oh, the golden showers. Not only. No, I don't need to say that. The music is awful. Is the summary of that. Bands that sound like Nickelback and Limp Bizkit, like all the worst music of the early 2000s. Visual effects by Axis. So when you make such crappy digital effects, don't pick a name that is associated with evil.
Yeah.
And then my favorite assistant music editor, Jack Nicholson. Nice. This is what he does when he's not eating pizza on boats with models.
Yep. That's great.
That's it. And it was a long one, but I felt like I hadn't got the measure of the movie until I'd covered those credits.
I, for one, am glad it's over.
Yes. It says that in the credits, too. Instead of any resemblance to people living or dead is coincidental, it just says, I, for one, am glad the movie is over. Oh, wow, I've never seen that in the credit before.
Trust us, we know what kind of movie we made.
Even the credits don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I'd love it if they'd just, at one point, halfway through the credits, there was just an ellipsis, and or etc., and then the movie just cut out. And the power cut out everywhere. Oh, wow, that's an abrupt ending. Okay.
All right. I don't know. You have any final thoughts on this movie?
No.
Or I guess we'll talk about the series
it was a
when
mistake.
we pitch.
It was a mistake.
Yeah. You had a perfectly serviceable and fun trilogy.
And a trilogy, yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know when to stop at a trilogy.
You fucked it up. It's after 3, everyone. You stop after 3. That's what you do.
You stop after 3 or you make 20. I think that's the...
Yeah.
You it's one or the other. You can't make, you can't have, 4 and 5 be objectionable.
Yeah. Mission Impossible, that's when they hit their stride, is 4 and 5.
It's weird, yeah. It's weird. And horror movie series obviously go on a lot longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with this kind of a franchise, I think if you get away with 3 being serviceable, then you cut your losses.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're going to have to tell us what you think, ladies and gentlemen. What do you have to say about Expend4BLES?
The first thing would be, why did they pick that title?
Yeah.
But
that's when you knew it was off the rails immediately. Title.
It also means we're going to have to work much harder to come up with titles for our pitches. Because Expend4BLES taken.
Can you go back? Can I just go back to the Expendables 5?
Oh, yeah. Well, can you go back? Has anyone ever gone back?
I don't know. Or maybe you just continue and make it super unwieldy, a colon with a huge monstrous sentence.
Yeah. That's right. That's what usually happens. Once you abandon numbers, you tend never to go back, but you just end up making different mistakes after that. Interesting. That's a good case study. Did any series ever go back to numbers?
No.
Outside of our fake sequel pitches, we do it all the time.
You could kind of say Aliens, it went from Aliens, but they chose Alien Cubed instead of 3.
Oh, Yeah, again, different mistake.
Yeah.
But it's the closest, I agree, it's the closest I can think of.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well,
that's a topic for another time.
Yeah.
Specifically, the next episode.
yeah, exactly. If you're going to tell us what you think about Expend4BLES, do it on all the things you do it on. The books and the grams, the threads, the blue skis. X. YouTube.
No, YouTube.
Tube you.
Dear YouTube, tube you. That's a West Side Story reference. Scanning through the classified ads.
Just need a new job.
I hear Louis Prima's got a new record out.
Or send an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com. You're still checking that, right?
I do, yes, every day.
Okay.
Don't need to, but I'm doing it every day.
All right.
I could check it every 3 months and it would be about the same.
Correspondence.
Yeah, but because you can't get in there, right? So it's just me checking it.
Ooh, can I get in there? I don't know. It's been so long since I've tried to check.
Okay.
Do I sometimes get it on my regular feed email too?
Maybe. This is more of an IT help desk conversation than a podcast at this point. Listen.
Hello?
Hey, if you want to switch,
Is
if you want
this
to
the
switch
Geek
our Patreon
Squad?
bonus episodes to an IT help desk version of the show, I'm all for it.
Hello? Is this the Geek Squad? Can you help me?
No, not the Geek Squad. Please, not the Geek Squad.
Do they still exist?
Worst episode. Yeah, worst episode of How Did This Get Made Ever.
Oh, God.
Remember that improv tangent on
Yeah.
the Geek Squad? Oh yeah, I occasionally get emails from them telling me, basically, now your laptop is so old that if you want to help, you're gonna have to pay for it. Is what they send me emails to say.
Actually,
every couple of years.
you and I saw each other just a few days ago rehearsing for your
rehearsing what? I hear. That makes it sound like we rehearsed these episodes. They don't know the context of you and me rehearsing. They're like, fuck, they rehearsed this? Why is it such a fucking shambles?
Tom's written a one-man play, everybody, plus Friday. But
that's right. I've written a 2-man, 1-man play.
But you had your computer at the rehearsal, and I got distracted by something, but I was going to say, is that what you record on? Because you definitely need a new one if that's what you're recording on.
Oh, you should see the one that I'm using for Zoom. I have to crank it like a phonograph. It's fucking steam powered.
Holding
to
on,
burn logs.
I'm holding on to my 2003 computer with grim death.
You said that as hyperbole, but you're not too far off with 2003.
Oh my goodness.
It's certainly that decade. What? Decade's a long time.
That's my point.
Yeah, but that means there's potential for it to be earlier than 2003 or later.
Get a new computer.
Give me money. Give me money, everyone.
Take some Patreon money. Not all of it. Some of it.
I'd maybe be able to buy an even older computer for that, but yes.
You could get half a computer, and then a credit card.
That's my retirement money. Well, I can't use that.
Oh no. I have terrible news for you.
Wait a minute, that's not the same as my 401k?
No.
Oh no.
Not unless we take it to one of the casinos and bet on black.
Well, it's another one for the books.
57 times in a row.
The episode where Tom realizes that podcasting is unprofitable.
All right, when do you hear us next, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to be pitching sequels to this nonsense.
Yeah.
How do you continue?
Well,
you got a lot you got to figure out. A story.
They have laid down no gauntlet.
Who's going to be in it? What stunt casting are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, remember, as a teaser, we've got a time machine.
True.
So, I don't know, Charles Atlas.
Bronson.
All the Charleses. Charles Atlas, Bronson, Brown.
I don't know where we were, but...
Ending the show.
Yeah. So, I already said that we're pitching sequels, though, right?
Oh, yeah, many, many times.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for listening, everyone. Say goodbye to the good people, Tom.
Calling you bellend.
First of all, who's Colin? Do you remember a character called Colin in this?
You know, I thought I wrote that down somewhere. Because I did. I wrote down the Colin ploy.
Okay.
What's that?
I don't know. I didn't even remember the bilge system. But anyway, bellend is a British slang term of abuse.
Oh, all right then, sir.
I mean, you can guess. I mean, when you think about the shape that the end of a bell resembles, what it's referring to.
Okay.
Where he gets his golden showers from.
Penis.
Yes. I don't know why. Like, between all the slander and cursing, I don't know why I suddenly became very prudish and refused to say the word penis.
Perfect way to end, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Penis.
So
Just
long.
to prove we're live. Penis.